Yo, 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 what's happening? What's happening, world? I am your man, NAT Salini, aka Quality. Hey, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Welcome to the Hustle Report. Yes, the Hustle Report, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. On the Hustle Report, just to give y'all a little insight, we talk nothing but sports here. I apologize because my co-host couldn't be here with me. Had a little business to take care of. We have to allow that to happen because, life comes first. You know what I mean? So, anywho, we're going to go ahead and get this thing popping. First things first, I want to talk about some things. We had a different change up with the All-Star game. Yeah, the NBA All-Star game. It's a little different of what we were accustomed to dealing with. So this one became something that we had to kind of get used to. I had to kind of figure out the format somewhat in order to get it to do what I needed it to do, but I was able to get it to do just that. First things first, guys. Give me 1 second here. And let me see, get all this here taken care of. Give me 1 second. But yes, the NBA All-Star. And let's go here, bang. Boom. Okay. We back in the house. Okay, my bad about that, guys. I had to get all this volume. I had a lot of noise happening around me, so I had to get all that taken care of. But here we go. The NBA All-Star game. So we had what it looks to be 3 teams. We had a Team Stripe, Team Star, and the World Team. Now, it was a little confusing at first because it ended up being 4 games, which would equal out to 1 whole game, just 4 quarters of the game with 12 minutes. Something similar to that. I don't, it may not be quite accurate all the way, but it's something similar to that. But that is what we were dealing with. So with that being where we're at, it was a little confusing. So I'm gonna try to see if I can take you down this road I got here. Okay, we had Team World versus Team Stars. That one ended 37-35. That happened to be a very, very good game because in that one there, it went into overtime. And like I say, 35-37, Team Stars would win that one. I tried to figure out the format that got them to the championship game, but, unsuccessful there. But then we'd have in the second game would be Team Stars versus Team Stripes. That game would end 40-42 with Team Stripes winning that game. So Team Stars won 1, Team Stripes wins 1. Okay, now Team Stripes would take on the World. And in that one, it was 48-45 with Team Stripes beating Team World in that one, 48-45. And then the championship game, which was World versus Team Stars. And it was 35-37 in that game. Team Stars ultimately winning it all. Now, what I did notice about this, let me make sure I'm right on it before I comment on it. Okay, Stars lost 1. All right. So Stars looked like they may have lost 1 game out of the 4. Stripes won. Let me see. Stripes. Ooh, Stripes won 1 against Team World and also won another against Team Stars. So Stripes won 2. And Team World lost all of their games. So that's what makes it somewhat confusing, guys. Team World lost all of their games, yet they represented Team World in the championship, which would have been the 4th quarter of the game. So it's a little confusing there. But what I will say about it was the All-Star game had been going through some serious, ups and downs due to the lackadaisical play that the guys were given. So in other words, the teams wasn't giving full-fledged effort in playing the game. Therefore, they went into a different format of how they're going to get them to be a little bit more competitive. Now, I honestly think in this particular one, I kind of liked it a little bit, a little nice little thing going on there. Actually had the structure like I say, that's probably about the only thing that I probably struggle with was the structure of how they did the games and not understanding how they got to the championship resolution of it. I possibly would have liked it better had they just made Team World against USA and let those guys take all 4 quarters and going at it. Now, that's of course in the perfect world what I would have liked it, but to be transparent with that particular deal, I have to understand that them doing it the way that they did it gave it a sense of lesser chances of the star players being hurt. Excuse me. So I kind of understand that, and maybe the format that they have is a good one for that particular situation. So I get it, but I would have kind of maybe I would have rather seen World just versus USA, and let's throw the ball out there and let's get it on, man. Let's get it on. But that's not how it went down. But I will say this here: Wemby in the first game, or first play of that game, he threw down a dunk that I want to say, to me, changed the whole deal of the game. It made it showed you that this is no longer the same type of game that we're used to, where the guys would typically go 3 quarters of just them running up and down the floor doing trick shots, ooh, and stuff like that, half court threes, who can shoot it from the furthest, those type things, to where there was a level of, you guys better come on here because we're going to do what we're finna do. Now, I do think, once again, just going back to it, I do think it could have been better had it just been the World versus USA, throw the ball out there, let's get it. But that ain't what we got. We got what we got. And I'm not disappointed in what we got. It happened to work out pretty fine to me, pretty good. And we were able to get some level of entertainment out of it. So kudos to the NBA for getting that done. They got it done. They rocked out with it. And it turned out to be pretty nice. I think next year, there'll probably be a little bit more of a excitement level for it. I think we kind of lacked on the excitement level due to the fact that not many people kind of understood the format. Some of us didn't even know that they were going to do it this way. So how it came out, I thought it was pretty good. One of the things that I can say, the level of fight that the teams fought with. Anthony Edwards ended up being the MVP of the whole thing, which he well deserved. Young up and coming talent, and there's no reason for me to say up and coming. Anthony Edwards has arrived. He is the man. He can possibly be the face of the NBA going forward. Now, they had an interview at the end of the game where they asked Anthony Edwards about that, and he also said that Wemby would like to put his name in the hat to be the face of the NBA. And like Anthony Edwards answered, he was asked this before about the All-Star and being the face of the league. And ironically, he took a stance that was kind of funny to me. Back in the day, Charles Barkley was asked. For those who don't know, Charles Barkley played back in the day, older player. You guys know him on TNT, Charles Barkley. Anyway, he was asked one time in a commercial, what a role model, about being a role model. And Charles would always answer, and it's one of my favorite commercials. He would say, I'm not a role model. I'm not a role model. I'm not what you want me to be. I'm Charles Barkley. I'm not a role model. I'm not the person that your kids look up to. I'm not the person that you idolize or you want to be like. That's not me. I'm Charles Barkley. And that it was a shoe commercial for his shoes, but I thought that was one of the best commercials ever because the authenticness and the realness of it just really stood apart for me. And that's kind of the feel. The reason why I'm saying that is kind of the feel that I get from Anthony Edwards when he determines that he's like, if I'm going to be the face of the league, then I'm going to be it. But if I'm not, and Wemby wants it, then come and get it. That's basically what he said in so many words. Come and get it. If Wemby wants to be it, then come and get it. But if I'm going to be it, then you're going to have to come and get it from me. And I like that attitude. I like that about that young man. He's very transparent with telling I'm not going to be what you want me to be, but I'm going to be who I'm supposed to be. And I like a guy like that. That's to me, guys, I kind of look at that as a different level of thinking. Like, I'm not going to try to be what all of y'all out there want me to be, I'm gonna be who the hell I am. And I can't respect a man more enough for that. I just think that's a wonderful stance on how you should be. So kudos to Anthony Edwards and winning the MVP of the All-Star game. And also good luck to them through the rest of the season because they got work to do as far as now. It gets for real in the NBA. No more looking at who winning games. Now it's for real. It's about placement for the playoffs, and for those who are not winning, possibly placement about draft picks. So it's about placement now. The second half of the season, and it's about to go down. Of course, you got March Madness coming up, so that's a lot of playoff talk with the college football. But we'll get into that a little bit later. But as basketball, the NBA in April will be getting right around the end of there, and here we go with the playoffs. So we're up and coming on that. That's our next event that's going to be happening with the NBA. Let's give a shout out to Damian Lillard. Dame time. For those who don't know, Dame time. 3-point contest. Damian Lillard wins another one, which would be his third. And I think he ties, was it Klay? I think it's Klay Thompson. He ties Klay Thompson with the most winning three-point contest. I could be wrong there. I had to do a little fact check. I'm by myself tonight, guys. So being by myself, can't really do it. I'll get back with you on it in the comments if I'm wrong. If I am, you guys can let me know. I don't mind. I'm very transparent to listening to what you got to say as well. So, but yeah, Dame won it for the third time, and that would be tied for a record. So great job to Damian Lillard. He deserves it. What was kind of strange about this one, though, guys, is Dame hasn't played, I don't even think, one game in the regular season. He hasn't played a game of all. He's been hurt. And being hurt, he came to play or came to shoot in the three-point contest. And then I wonder if he'll play in the next coming game that the Blazers play because I think he's on their roster. So I wonder if he'll play then because, I don't know, maybe because it's shooting, I kind of got an understanding of it, guys. Because it's shooting, maybe it's not requiring him to run as much, not to do as much. So maybe not as much stress on the body. And considering that he's been rehabbing throughout the time that he's been gone, possibly this was a good chance to get the blood blowing a little bit, get the blood boiling a little bit. Sorry about that. Get that sweat going, get everything going. Maybe that's what that was for him, but he won it, and that's on a broke leg, I guess, if you will. On a broke leg, Dame Lillard came out and won that daggone thing. So shout out to him. All right, now the dunk contest, which has been a little seriousness about this here. Last couple of years, we had a young man that was coming through that kind of made it somewhat interesting. But this year, let me see. I think it's Keyshawn. Let me make sure I got it right, guys. Let me find this name here. But Keshad Johnson was the winner. He plays for the Miami Heat. Now, unfortunately, I don't know much about this kid. But as I was watching that dunk contest, he made some pretty, good-looking dunks or whatever. But the antics behind it kind of seemed to kind of throw me off somewhat. Like, he did a lot of dancing. He's one of those guys. He got the dance after every dunk and all kind of, moves and stuff. And I'm like, man, good Lord, just do the dunk already. At least that's my thoughts, y'all. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but yeah, I was like, just do the dunk already, man. I'm not looking to see, your latest dance moves or anything like that. But hey, what do I know? Maybe to some, that may have been what got him to win. He won the thing, so who am I to judge on how he won it? Good job to him, and congratulations. And hey, man, I believe that's the second Miami Heat player. Man, I probably had a couple more. I might be off on that one. So, excuse me. But yeah, he goes along a list of Miami Heat players that have won the dunk contest. I know Minor did, and I think there was another guy. Not sure. But anywho, yeah, he's on that list now. So congratulations to Keshad Johnson for winning the dunk contest. And that will kind of conclude the NBA All-Star game for what we were going through. Of course, there are going to be highlights all through over the ESPN and the other sites that you can see to look at it. But I mean, we had some good basketball, man. We had some good basketball. Another one that was kind of surprising to me. In one of the games, which would have been Team Stripes, Kawhi Leonard played for Team Stripes. And I think that's along the side of LeBron James and Donovan Mitchell, and if you will, older kind of players, they'll say. But I believe Kawhi Leonard in one quarter had 31 points. 31 points. Now, I believe the team only scored roughly around 40 semi points, and Kawhi had 31 of them. And that's in a quarter's work, y'all. So, man, how about Kawhi Leonard coming to life? And he's been looking kind of good lately, man. I don't know what we're going to get from him as far as is he going to come back and be the Kawhi that we're used to having? No, the injuries really put a damper on things that he had going on. So hopefully he's able to come out of there. And it probably would help the Clippers a lot because, that's where Kawhi's at in Los Angeles Clippers. It would help them a lot if he did come out because, they just shipped off James Harden to Cleveland. So, and Darius Gardner, they're still waiting on him to come in. So Kawhi's kind of, holding that ship down by itself. And I think they're fighting to get into the playoff. They're in the later seeds. It's going to be their 7th or 8th right now. So I think they're either trying to fight to stay there or they're right there and trying to hold on to it. So, hey, man, Kawhi looking like he's coming back. That could be, something to look forward to. LeBron had an awesome game. 40 years old, and this guy's doing what he's doing. A lot of people are not going to like LeBron. Let's just keep it real. I get it. I know. I understand. Most of us older guys that kind of grew up in the Jordan era, we're going to always say Jordan. And people that kind of grew up in LeBron's era will probably give him, LeBron. And I get it. These are the GOATs, or the greatest of all time, and I get it. I understand why. I don't have anything bad to say about LeBron. A lot of people want to talk about the whining and the flopping and things of that nature. Man, I seen that from all the NBA players. And so, miss me with that one. A lot of them do it. Now, you might didn't have as many do it as frequently as you see LeBron, but I don't think that's because of LeBron. I think that's just because of the way the game is being played. I mean, as a sports official, I see it all day long. Kids just fall on the floor. They just fall on the floor, hit the floor, and then they're looking at me. It was a foul. Now, granted, the contact should have been called of something. So I get it. And in some levels of it, you will. Sometimes you'll make it an offensive foul, or you'll make it a regular foul, a team foul or whatever. But sometimes there's really just no call to make there when the kid just goes in there and flings himself into the middle of a bunch of guys and throw the ball up. I mean, at that point, he does that looking for the ref to bail him out. And so if the ref continues to bail him out, then you're going to continue to have that very same problem that you're dealing with. So when you talk about LeBron flopping and things of that nature, well, that's a result of how the game is being played today. That's how they play it today. Now, we tried measurements of trying to stop the flopping by punishing the players and calling the flop. But I think I've probably seen that call maybe possibly 5 complete total times of all the NBA games, all 82 days of the season. Yeah, I probably only seen that call that many times out of that. So, that's kind of, it's a judgment call. And it's really hard for a ref to be put in a position to where he has to make a judgment to whether or not the player was flopping or whether the player was actually thrown to the ground or hit or some way pushed to the ground to make that player fall. So it's really hard to ask a ref to determine that in the heat of the moment of the game. On top of that, let's all be mindful of this. The ref has more than just, in some situations, the ref has more than just that one guy to worry about. There's tons of other people on the floor, tons of other situations that have to be monitored, watched, and definitely looked over to make sure that we're doing right. So it's always hard to catch one particular situation if you got so many other to look at. But not making any excuses for the ref. That's his job, and they're going to do the best that they can. I know I do. So That's just what that is. But in that time frame, that is why they say what they say about LeBron. But, you know, like I say, I think it's just a product of how the game is played. But he had a great game tonight. I think he did good tonight. For an older man, I'm telling you, man, sometimes it looks like this guy is going to defeat Father Time, but we all know. Father Time is undefeated. So, shout out to LeBron and what he's doing this year. I honestly don't know how many more years he's going to have left in him. I'm not going to be the one to make that call. I'm going to let LeBron do that. I think it's only fair and well deserving of him to do so. So it's not for me to say how many years he has left, but as long as he does have them, I'll enjoy to watch him play. I mean, it's very, very extraordinary to see a 40 or 41-year-old man playing the way that he's playing. I mean, the dude caught an alley hoop off the rim, kind of dunked it on somebody, shooting mid-court threes. I mean, you know, LeBron did his thing out there, man. So, but of course, that all is interpreted to all the games that he played. So, him playing on Team Stripes, he more than likely was probably 2 quarters out of the 2 games that he played in. So, you know, give or take somewhere in there. So Anthony Edwards played on the Stars team, the Team Stars, and he was the MVP, like I said. Wemby, Wemby played on World Team, along with who else was on that team? Wemby and SGA, I think, but I think he was hurt, so he should have been on the team. That's another thing too, guys. A lot of guys were hurt. Steph Curry didn't play. SGA, I don't think played. A bunch of them. Giannis didn't play. So these teams were somewhat, you know, crippled because of these guys not being on the floor. But I don't care what you say. For Team World, if you got a 7'5" guy that's shooting threes and can do all that Wemby can do, I ain't trying to hear no excuses. You got beat. That's just that clear. You got beat. So the heck with all that there. Job well done by Anthony Edwards, MVP of the All-Star game. So we're going to move on, guys, for a second. I want to take a quick second. I want to give y'all a little bit of talk about the Texans. Of course, you know, we're getting ready for draft time, and there's a lot of little stuff out there as far as what they're trying to do with their resources and their picks. And they're even talk about some Texans trades. So that's something that we're going to be looking into, see what we got there. Right now, the Texans own 2 second-round draft picks and 2 fourth-round draft picks, and also 1 first-round draft pick. So everybody knows that we're having a little issue here with Mixon, our running back, Joe Mixon. We're not sure. Well, more than likely, there's a good chance he's not coming back. He did not play last season, so this ended up being a kind of a major issue for us because it led us to have Jahar out there and Jahar Jordan and Mark Woodley. So Woody. I'm sorry. We had to have these guys out there, and these guys were kind of, you know, young, not quite ready for the totality of all of the season. You know, you kind of want to have a guy that you can mix and match in there a little bit and you know, kind of give certain guys a break. And that's kind of what we were dealing with right there. So I feel like we go wrong if the Texans drafted a running back in the first round? Well, that's a good question. Running backs don't typically go in the first round. So that's a very good question. In my opinion, it depends on who you're going to get. I mean, it depends on who you're going to get. I have a big infatuation with Mr. Love over there in Notre Dame. I would love to bring him to Houston with that first round pick. So if that first round pick meant I was getting that, then I'm willing to take a shot with it. And that's not knowing what he's going to do in the NFL. He may come to the NFL and not be the same player that he was in college, but I kind of got this idea that that's not going to happen. But there are also talks of them trading. The New York Jets look like they may be getting near time ready to get rid of Breece Hall. And so there have been rumors that the Texans are looking for him. See if there's any interest in bringing Breece Hall here to Houston. I think that would be pretty good. And just to have like somebody like that, that's a bell cow, type of running back, all 3 downs. You can hand him the ball, throw it to him, all that. He's built for it all. And he's proven that he can handle it all. So I would like to, that would be something that's interesting to see. Wouldn't mind that being the case if we could get our hands on something like that. So that would be really, really, really cool. So I know also too, there got to be some level of, we have got to stout up that offensive line. I'm not saying that the guys did, because in the beginning of the season, they did not perform well, the Texans offensive line. But towards the end of the season, man, I'm not sure I'm willing to say that they improved. How about that? We'll just go with that. I think that's a safer route to go. They really did improve. And I liked it what they did. I liked what the Texans did. I liked it how the offensive line kind of came alive and really started to kind of show that they could be a positive unit. And with that being the case, we needed to see that. So I think they showed some improvement, but I do not think it would hurt to stout up in there. And I think we're going to be losing Thompson on the offensive line. So that's going to be a big list. He was a guard and kind of did a good job for us, but the amount of money that he's going to ask for, I don't think, we're willing to dish that out to a guard, and then a kind of an older guy. So that's going to be an issue. So that's something that we can look to kind of reinforce there is that offensive line. Some defensive names out there, but I don't want to take much time into that right now because these are all rumors right now, guys. Nothing's out there really stout or anything out in play. Most importantly, like I say, we're looking for that running back, but could be rumors. Maybe CJ could be on the move. So once again, these are all rumors. Honestly, I don't think CJ is going anywhere. I'm not ready to give up on him yet. I know a lot of you all are, and a lot maybe, you're done with him or whatever, but I think there's still a lot of magic left in that young man, and I think he'll show it to you. But that's also what I think. So, hey, guys, what I want to do is, once again, I want to thank everybody for thank you all for joining me talking sports here. Hey, I'll hit you with this right quick, my like and subscribe. Yes. Please like, subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. Comments are always welcome. We love to talk back to you. Also, we're being brought to you by Tuesday Show, which will be airing Tuesday at 9 o'clock. It's roughly around 9:15, 9:30 at the latest, but I think we'll be right there in that 9 to 9:15 hour frame there. And we'll get started on Tuesday Show. And that's where we'll talk a little bit more sports, a little bit of health and fitness and life and things of that nature. You'll also be talking a little shits and giggles at the end, little shits and giggles. And we always want a excellent area where we like to highlight our Black excellence. So please join us Tuesday where we talk all of that. So back to where we're at, guys. I got one more story that I want to talk to you guys about. There's a little deal that's been going on over over a couple of weeks ago. Falcons rookie James Pierce Jr. Interesting story that has been put out here. He is dating a WNBA player, Rakika Jordan Jackson. I'm sorry, Rakika. I don't know how to say this girl, Rakika Jackson. I apologize if I'm butchering it. But yeah, she's a WNBA player. And this story kind of has taken some really strange deals here, guys. According to the story, Mr. Pierce Jr. took his car and struck her car. Now, the two of them were dating, so this is now, clearly some sort of domestic type of issue here. But in the sense of an argument here or something that went wrong, he took his car and he struck her car multiple times. I found that to be a little strange because of the multiple. Most people, car accident, it's like boom, one, and then we're kind of done with that. This is sounding as if he hit her, tried to block her in, according to what the story is saying. He tried to block her in, and then she couldn't move or whatever. She couldn't get out of there, so the damages to her car, and then he hit her again. And then as the law enforcement showed up, a police officer, he then struck the police officer. So this kid has got himself in a lot of trouble right now behind this situation that he's dealing with. And Miss Jackson, no one deserves to have anything like this happen to no young lady or anything. Nobody, rather, not young lady, but nobody. Nobody deserves this. So we all hope that she's safe and secure and in a place of understanding that, this is wrong. And hopefully Mr. Pierce is too. You don't like to hear stories like this because you don't want, he's a young kid. He's a rookie. So clearly he's a young man that just, I don't know if maybe the love has got him or whatever, but this is unacceptable. And he's gotten himself in a lot of trouble behind it. Hopefully he can bounce back from it. But, the story was just alarming to hear when you strike another person's car multiple times, then it sounds like it's premeditated, like you're actually doing it for a vicious reason. And that's kind of the interpretation that I got from when I read the story. And then to find out that these guys were dating each other as well, then that kind of puts the cherry on top, if you will. So, a little strange, little saddened right there because, these are two young kids, but hopefully they get these things together. Once again, all prayers go out to both of them to get their lives together, and hopefully this doesn't affect anything that he or she has going. Hopefully they can thrive and become better after this. So I just want to touch on that story because it's just something that kept ringing in my ear. And then the more and more details that I got on it just started to be something that I felt like I needed to let you guys know on. I don't like the pride in a lot of people's business, personal business about things like, but these things have to be said, and hopefully there's somebody that can learn from it. That's the whole deal for why we're telling it to you. Let's try to be better than what we were the last time. So that's where we stand on that. So guys, with that being the case, that's pretty much all I have for you guys. Once again, I tell y'all, see you guys Tuesday, 9 p.m., roughly around that time, where we'll talk a little bit more sports. And next week, everything should be on this regular scheduled programming time. We've been kind of falling behind due to the All-Star game and then the NFL Super Bowl. These things have pushed our show, the Hustle Report, a little behind schedule, but we should be picking back up at our regular scheduled time, which is 9 p.m. every Sunday. So you guys, hey, man, you guys are always welcome to join us, talk to us, holler at us, man. Hey, let's have some fun. But with that being the case, guys, we are going to get up out of here. Hey, I can't thank you guys enough. There's no us without you. So, H-Town, Bayou City Podcast, we thank you and we love you. We out of here.
Thanks for joining the H-Town Bayou City Podcast. Be sure to like, share, and follow, and we'll catch you on the next episode.